check out Halo 4. Joining me on set, we've got Josh and Ray from 343 Industries, and we're joined by Tom T-Squared Taylor on the end here. Guys, it is a really exciting day to have Halo 4 here on the set here at E3.
Yeah, we're excited. We're excited to finally be able to show the game after working on it for so long. So.
Yeah, it's been quite some time for you guys, huh?
Yeah, it's been on 3 years, give or take. So.
Well, you made an excellent showing at the press conference yesterday, and I think the demo we're going to see today is that same demo, but
that's correct.
We've got you here so we can mine you for all the information you can possibly give us.
Excellent.
So let's start it up, and it begins with that cinematic and introduces us to the ship, the Infinity.
That's right. This is the first time that the player and the Master Chief is introduced to the Infinity, which then goes on to play an important role in the campaign as well as becoming kind of the centerpiece for our new multiplayer experience, Halo Infinity multiplayer.
Okay, which we will talk about a little bit later. We've got some multiplayer footage to check out. But here's Master Chief, and he's had a nice long rest in the dark depths of space, presumably, after the ends of Halo 3.
That's right, yeah. Halo 4 picks up right where Halo 3 left off, so it's a continuation of that story. And so Chief and Cortana have been drifting aboard the derelict Forward Unto Dawn. They arrive at this really mysterious Forerunner planet of Requiem, crash land on that planet. This mission that we're showing off here actually takes place a little further on into the campaign. So the first mission of the campaign is Chief and Cortana and their descent into the planet.
Now, speaking of mysterious spherical objects, what the hell is that thing?
Yeah, that is a mysterious object. We're not talking too much in detail about that.
What do you think, Tom? What's your read on that thing?
I honestly don't know. I was just surprised at all the graphics and animation right there. I was checking to make sure that the light was bouncing off the clouds correctly how it should be, and I'm just blown away by everything Halo, man. I'm speechless.
Yeah, we have a whole team of world-class artists who have been working on this, and they've done just an amazing, amazing job. So Chief and Cortana are stranded on this planet, and what better way to get off of the planet than to rescue a downed UNSC ship? Got the Infinity there in the background, and so they set off to try and rescue the downed Infinity.
And is this yet another incarnation of the beloved battle rifle?
It is, yeah. So you'll see, in this demo we actually have a couple of new weapons that you've never seen before. We also reintroduce the battle rifle and all of the familiar weapons there. You've got the AR as well. These have all been lovingly recreated and updated to match the visual style.
The AR sound is just phenomenal. It sounds like you're really doing some destruction with that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Tajin and his team have done an amazing job on the sound effects and just the whole soundscape, working with Neil Davidge as the composer on the game. It's pretty cool. So you can see all the detail that we've put into the jungle. We've fully updated the engine, the graphics.
So that I just spotted like a floating manta ray kind of alien.
You didn't see anything like that.
There's like indigenous species up there. You folks are going to have to rewind the stream to check that one out, or maybe we'll catch another glimpse. But these jungles are teeming with life that's not necessarily the Covenant or those nasty orange dudes that want to shoot you later.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, this is a living world. So as you explore Requiem, you're going to go to all kinds of different locations. This is a very lush jungle location, and this is kind of the setting for this particular mission. But as Chief and Cortana make their way through here, it's obvious that they're not alone. There's this is a dangerous environment. There's all kinds of dangers that may be lurking around every corner.
I noticed there's a lot of nav points so far from what I've seen in all the footage. Is that something that you guys try to do, is implement more nav points so the game could go more fluently?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we definitely pay a lot of attention to is making sure that players understand, where it is that they need to go or what's expected of them, depending on the situation. Like if part of a particular mission is allowing the player to explore more freeform, then that's what we do. But you see here the Covenant makes their return. There's a lot of kind of story that's gone into the intervening years between Halo 3 and Halo 4. But of course, as you see here, this isn't the only enemy that's out in the jungle looking for Master Chief.
Now, we got folks asking about the return of the DMR, obviously a very beloved weapon, yes. But this battle rifle fires in 3-round bursts.
This does fire in 3-round bursts. We also have the DMR in the game as well, so you've got your choice of either the BR or the DMR, depending on what you prefer.
Now, would that be... So this is kind of different, because typically if you're going to pick a starting weapon, it would either be a Covenant weapon or it would be a human weapon. Is there typically more human weapons than Covenant weapons in Halo 4?
So you have your pick of both human and Covenant weapons, and there's an expanded sandbox for both. One of the things that we've done on the multiplayer side is really given giving players the ability to kind of customize their loadouts and optimize for their own personal play style. And so as you see, Ray's going to make his way up here. You get your first look at one of the new enemies in the game. This is an enemy class we call the Prometheans, and this particular guy is called the Crawler. And the Crawlers are really, they're not too intimidating when you're dealing with them one-on-one. They're pretty easy to take out, but when you're dealing with them in packs, they get a little bit more dangerous.
The thing that strikes me about these enemies, and actually about the way that enemy killed the elite earlier, is they don't die and just like lay dead on the ground. They evaporate, they sizzle into like little pieces of film. Like, does that work into the mythology of what these creatures are all about?
Absolutely, yeah. There's part of the story in Halo 4 is sort of discovering the mystery behind these new enemies that you've never seen before and how they fit in. And speaking of which, here you've got kind of the commander of the battlefield. This is the Promethean Knight, and what you're going to see in just a moment, he's pretty badass. He can actually spawn a support unit called the Watcher, and so Watchers can sort of protect the Knight. You see him there shielding him with hard light.
Oh, so the Watcher is deploying
the
the
shield. Caught that grenade.
Yeah, exactly.
And
the
he
Watcher
just threw it back at you. Can you actually get
he
struck
did,
by
yeah,
that grenade?
So he caught the grenade there. If you take out the Watcher, you can get him to drop that grenade, which can obviously work in your favor.
I noticed when he's shooting this weapon that there's sort of bloom inside of that. Now, if he shoots faster and faster, will that reticle continue to expand?
So yeah, there's a little bit of bloom there. With the BR, we've also got a little bit of recoil that you can feel when you're firing it that just sort of gives you a little bit more of a realistic feel to it. Whereas the DMR is sort of more laser tight on the single shot.
And speaking of weapons, what do you call this guy?
So this is the light rifle. This is a Forerunner weapon. It fires in either a triple shot burst or a powerful single shot when you're scoped in, and it's kind of unique in that regard that it has these two different firing modes depending on whether you're firing, kind of freeform or zoom.
Yeah, that's not something Halo has traditionally done, is the multiple fire modes.
That's right. Yeah, that's totally new. And so here's another ability that you see the Watcher doing. He's spawning a group of crawlers, and you can see Ray taking him out when he's caught that grenade, drops down below. And here we've introduced another knight. This is the Lancer. And the Lancer can close distance really, really quickly. And so one of the things you can expect, within this new enemy class is all of the variation and variety that you've come to expect from Halo enemies.
But it's nice to see that though the alien life may be multifarious and diverse, there's still the universal language of headshots.
That's right. Yeah, headshots are good. We love them.
Now, can we touch base on this gun a little bit, because this looks like a shotgun right here?
Yeah, it's kind of the Forerunner version of a shotgun, and what you can see with all the Forerunner weapons is they kind of form into place and suit the person who's wielding it, so they kind of adapt to the user. This is really, really powerful up close. As you saw, he took out the Knight with the one shot. It also has the ability to rebound off of objects and surfaces.
So you could bounce shot someone.
Yeah, exactly. I've actually had some great trick shots in multiplayer where I've shot around corners at someone who's trying to get away from me and taken them out. It's hard to pull off because it does have a really limited range. But when you do it, it's really satisfying.
Now, one thing that I noticed just from a quick glance is the reloading actions seem to be a little bit faster, and also the rate that you can shoot after you reload.
Yeah, definitely. We've put a lot of time and attention into all of the animations. The animation team's updated a lot of the familiar animations in the game. And what you're going to see here, Ray's just going to show off a new ability called Promethean Vision that people have heard a lot about. This is great when you've got limited visibility, like in this foggy scenario here. And when he shifts it on, it sort of pulses out like sonar, and all of the enemies in the nearby area are shown. And that actually allows you to see through solid objects as well. So no more camping in Halo multiplayer. If someone's got Promethean Vision, they're going to be able to pick you up even if you're dead still.
Very cool. Can you shoot in that mode, in that vision, or when you get hit, do you get taken out of that?
No, you can shoot in that vision, and when you get hit, you don't get knocked out, but it does have a really, really limited duration.
Okay.
In multiplayer, that's one of the ways that we balance it, and it can also be fooled with other abilities. So.
Now, would this be considered almost as powerful as, say, the overshield or camouflage in old Halos?
So it's balanced against all of the other armor abilities that are available to you in the multiplayer experience. So each one of them kind of has its strength and its weakness. And I think one of the things we've talked about in the past is, yes, this allows you to see through solid objects, and that's awesome and cool. But if you're a great Halo player, you don't need that. You can kind of read the radar, you understand what's going on. So this becomes maybe less useful and less powerful when you're playing against a more skilled player.
Very excellent. Now, I just want to give a shout out to the folks who are asking questions in the chat room. You guys are asking so many questions so fast and furiously that you broke Google. They're not sending them through because they're thinking that we're some kind of spam organization. So I'm not ignoring you, I promise. And besides, between Tom and I, we've got questions aplenty for Josh and Ray. But now we're going to shift gears a little bit and take a look at some multiplayer in action.
Yeah, that's right. So the big thing with Halo 4 is we're kind of redefining what Halo multiplayer is with Halo Infinity multiplayer. And this is a new story-driven multiplayer experience. So for the first time, we're connecting our multiplayer experience to campaign through story and providing kind of a narrative structure or context for all of the experiences that you have there. So you've got these two main modes that make up Infinity multiplayer. War Games is your traditional competitive PvP experience. And then we have a new experience that we're calling Spartan Ops, which is an episodic cooperative adventure that takes place over an entire season of play. So basically you get a new episode every week, tells a little bit of story, you're following that story, along with that come 5 missions each week that you and your friends can take part in.
Excellent. And now
seems like almost like a play off the daily and weekly challenges, but way more intense.
It's funny that you say that, because that was definitely one of the inspirations for the team, was thinking about like, how do we take that idea of giving players a reason to come back every day and every week, and just kind of like take that even further. And then, of course, use story, which I think is one of the great things about the Halo universe.
So we're taking a look at the multiplayer trailer right here, and Chapter 4 Sacred, this is sort of the story cutscenes tied into it?
You're seeing the cutscenes from the episodes that are coming out each week, and then you see, you've got 5 new missions or chapters that launch along with that episode, and here you're seeing footage from Spartan Ops, and everything that you're doing as a player is then feeding into your progression and allowing you to customize your Spartan so that you can, decide what kind of weapons and abilities you want to take into battle with you.
So what kind of ops are we talking about here? Because ops can be a pretty catch-all term. I mean, some of these clips are reminiscent of Firefight, but then, you guys have also talked about there being specific objectives within the ops. So what's the format?
You've got, this whole story framework that goes around it with the episodes that tie into the missions. The missions have, VO and objectives and, characters that will talk to you in the pip. So you'll see their face interacting with you as you're on the battlefield. They're playable as solo missions if you want, but they definitely get a lot more fun when you're playing with 2 or more players, and lots of opportunities for cooperative play. So yeah, it's something that we're super excited about.
Very cool. Tom, how does this all sound to you?
Sounds awesome.
You're huge on the Halo tournament scene.
Yep.
Obviously, it's one of the top Halo players in the country. Halo 4 looking good?
Yeah, it looks great so far. I like that idea. My main question is the maps, because I don't mean to go back to Halo Reach, but there was only, I think, 6 launch maps, and then the Forge system, which was new and improved, of course, but it was lacking in color. Everything was very gray and dull. So what are you guys doing about that?
So we have 10 maps for competitive and war games that we're launching with. None of those include, Forge spaces. That will be a separate experience that we're not talking about in detail right now. And then, we've also talked about the limited edition, getting you participation in the 3 map packs that we have planned coming out post-launch. So that'll be another 9 maps of content that we bring online once we've launched the game. So you definitely heard from fans how they want more content, more map content, and experiences to play.
Very cool, because the amount of maps that you guys put out, you guys will typically put 6 or 7 maps in a map pack, and yeah, 3 of these are great for big team battle, and the other 3 are great for up close combat and say Major League Gaming. So that was my main concern. I love the loadouts. I think everything looks great, and I think Halo 4 is going to be exactly what that is. It's Halo 3, Halo 4, it's the next running. Halo Reach didn't have the best sales, and I think it was because it was the prequel. I think everyone's going to be super stoked for this, and I think so far, obviously, best game at E3, in my opinion.
Wow, that's great to hear you say that, man.
I can't wait to play. I haven't played yet.
Yeah,
this is driving me insane.
And play it in the theater, definitely. Yeah, we're showing playable multiplayer in the Halo 4 theater, so people can come in, check out the demo that you just saw live, talk a bit about Infinity, and then get in there and play war games.
And